the real women, this also, so okay, this is part two. So I guess it's a double part for part two of part three two. But the other part of being a real woman is not using birth control and not being heavily medicated. um Being more natural, maybe more organic, more holistic. Sometimes your the lifestyle you live can be very artificial too. So another part of being a real woman is how organic your eating and your every day-to-day life and your day-to-day habits and the things that you ingest and the things that you use are. And that's why I started making soaps. So check out my Etsy, because I started making soaps with no lye, no dye, because I wanted to use natural ingredients, and I knew the long-term effects of lye, which is something that black women use to straighten their hair. Lye is used for other things too, but it's in soaps. So, this, not having a high fructose corn syrup diet, eating, organic, eating healthy, and for some people, maybe cutting out dairy, cutting out meat for a little while, cutting out, when you're, so that's the other part of dealing with a real woman, a woman who's healthy, who's more connected to aboriginality, and sustainability than the artificial, superficial world we live in. We think different, we behave different, and we have a different way of dealing with ourselves. So we deal with other people that way. And the way that a woman deals with herself and deals with her body is the way she's going to deal with other people. So my point, back to that sexual point about, what's a woman's connection to her body with all those long nails and stuff. The more unnatural a woman is, the more erratic her sexuality and her femininity can be. So she can have, sometimes with birth control, you can have unnatural mood swings, or when a woman is not really connected to her body and knows how to really heal and soothe herself, or do the things needed to create a healing environment, she can become very frustrated and irritated. And not to mention, some of the sexual frustrations that come with, not being able to release sexual energy in the creative ways that women who are talented and natural and artistic can release that energy. Some women are so focused on how they look, and women who are focused on those looks, that's a woman who needs a lot more attention. A lot of natural women are okay with not getting attention or not being the center of attention, because we're not the standard of beauty in America. Whereas women who do everything to look like the standard of beauty that they think men or black men want, they want a lot of attention because they put hours of effort into looking however they look when they leave the house. Whereas the effort that women who are fake put into looking like a clown is the same amount of effort that natural women put into maintaining our natural crown, maintaining our natural skin, maintaining our healthy mentality, and maintaining our healthy body. So, the mistakes that men make, I think that, especially with brothers, a lot of good men are not used to the worth of a natural, holistic, healthy woman. They're not used to that value of femininity. They're used to women whose femininity is very skin deep, very superficial. And it's, and that's the best foot forward that she's putting forth. And a lot of brothers are used to how easily manipulated these women who need attention, who need validation, and who need a man, they're used to the attitudes, the desperation, the easily manipulating these women, and being able to get away with some stuff, and just sometimes easily impressing, women who are just very superficial, and not really in tune with sacred femininity, black femininity, or womanhood, and the way that they're presenting themselves and the conversations that they're having. But so some things I have here, getting to the solutions, for brothers who are unprepared for real women: stop being insecure and get used to being in high class settings around rich people or people with money, but more importantly, people with higher class. And this is a huge thing when it comes to black men not really knowing how to deal with authentic, beautiful black women. And this is a skin color thing too, because brothers, a lot of you all, you really don't know how to deal with real dark skinned sisters. I'm talking darker than me too. A lot of you brothers, you only know how to deal with white women or fake women, but you don't know how to deal with the modern black woman. Because so many generations of black men have been programmed by black men to deal with the black woman by abusing her. And that's the manhood you can get, because we can't defeat white men. We haven't defeated white men yet. We can't do anything about white men. So the only way we have to achieve manhood is to get this black woman, because we can't beat white women. We can sleep with them now. We can be their sex slave and try and make black women jealous. But the only form of manhood we have is to exert our privilege and upper hand over black women, because she's the only one who can be beneath us in American society. So let's make sure the black woman stays beneath us and never surpasses us, because we know as men we're never going to defeat white men. So we have to defeat the black woman. I'm sorry, but this is the attitude of black men. And this has been passed on from generation to generation. If it don't apply, let it fly. But this is the things that black women have to deal with from our own men. And so when black men, when you all are used to being in high class settings, and this is again for good men using dating apps. Most black men who are in high class settings are married to a white woman. Let's be real. They're married to a white woman, or it's a black couple that's elite, and a lot of black couples that are elite or in high class settings are not connected to anything aboriginal or deeply African spiritual. So black men, but I'm really kind of talking to the brothers. When you get yourself in high class, upper class settings, and remember, class is not always about money, but it's about the level of civilization and dignity, and more importantly, how sophisticated and even aristocratic the crowd is and the people are. So brothers, when you're around high class, you're gonna be able to see how black women who know their worth and who are okay with how they are and who hang out in high class areas, because we're more accepted in those areas, and we can sometimes breathe more and be ourselves more, because we don't have to conform to be in that ghetto, and and we're accepted more in high class areas. When I'm talking about real women, and again, this is about beautiful women. But here's the kicker: when it comes to high class, in high class settings, people tend to look better. Women tend to be more beautiful in high class settings. One, because they're natural, and because there's a modesty that people with higher class tend to have. Whereas there's a loudness that ghetto low class people tend to have. There's a dignity and there's a modesty and there's a poise. And so focusing on intelligence and social skills and social interactions, it becomes more important than putting on a bunch of makeup and trying to look like a white girl, or trying to look like whatever's trendy, because you're talking about more worldly things, and you're talking about subjects that oftentimes people with more money, but high class is more about how sophisticated and worldly, and that means educated and intelligent and wise you are. Okay. So brothers, when you start hanging around high class settings, you won't be so freaked out at how high class a natural woman is, and a naturally beautiful woman. And you'll be prepared to really bring some experience and some sophistication to her, because you won't be used to the superficial and that basicness of these kind of more ghetto or ghetto acting black women who embrace the fake. Stop dating above your intelligence level is another solution to men who are unprepared for really pretty and beautiful women. Stop dating above your intelligence level. If you realize that a woman she's smarter than you, she's more intelligent than you, opt out if you're not going to be able to stimulate her at all, or do your best to try and bring something to the table, or to try and get into that high class groove. Why am I talking about high class? Well, here's the thing. High class people eat better, they dress better, they take care of their bodies, they tend to have, better equipment, more expensive things. Doesn't mean it's better, but they know how to poise themselves. They have higher standards. So when you're high class, we're talking about having high standards before we're talking about having a lot of money in your bank. We're talking about sophistication. Again, high class people are very sophisticated. High class people have different social norms, are natural, modest, educated, worldly, civilized. And all of these things lead to being attractive and having a higher value in general. So a lot of you brothers, you're not used to pretty, beautiful, natural, real women, because you're not classy. You're used to average and low class women. So get some class and get some worldly experience. The first thing you can do is learn how to speak a different language. It's not about your ability to spend money all the time. It's literally about how classy you can actually be, how sophisticated. That's in being prepared to deal with beautiful women, because where do beautiful women tend to be? Where do models tend to be? Beautiful women are the hottest commodity in the world. So this is why a lot of black men are not used to very beautiful, natural, real sisters. You're low class. Get some high class. Go out, another thing is don't go after women who are prostituting instead of pursuing goals. A lot of you brothers, you're not used to really beautiful women, because you're used to women who have a little bit of looks, and they play that up, and they use that as a trading card. Whereas women who really know our worth and our beauty, we have a different standard for what fulfills that, because it's natural, it's not superficial, it's deep to our core, it's deep to our heart, our soul, and our spirituality. All of that's being reflected in the image that you see. That's natural. And then we know we can put on some makeup and put on some heels and everything, and then forget it. So brothers, a solution is stop going after the prostitutes, and start having, you have more to offer maybe than money. Having money is key, but have something else going for you, so you're not scrambling to impress this woman who you've now become enchanted by, because wow, like that shit gets annoying after a while. You know, that's what I'm saying. You men, you good guys, you're just not ready for a real woman. You're not ready, you know? So get ready. Like, and then here's a huge thing, learn to fight. The number one thing that a beautiful woman needs is the same thing every woman needs, protection and provision. But if you don't look good and you're not a male model who can match her looks and that social attention, you need to know how to fight. That will undoubtedly give you the confidence that you need to have such a beautiful high class woman at your side, and not have that insecurity of someone's going to take her, I'm going to lose her, or I'm, you'll be ready for what that's about. If you're, some of you brothers, you're not used to being around really my high class women. So learn to fight and be helpful. Now I'm gonna try and hurry up with this, but know about pretty girl problems. So pretty girl problems are when you're a beautiful, drop dead, gorgeous woman, you're constantly objectified. We're expected to be nice all the time because, we're expected that we get treated better. We're always on display. We're always treated like an object, always objectified. We're never treated just like a person. There's extreme jealousy, not having real friends, not being invited or promoted or included, overprotective parents or hateful, jealous parents, invoking the lust of family members, which can lead to childhood traumas and sexual abuse. Having so many options, which it gives you a problem with making a real connection because you have so many options. And then the assumptions that people make about how easy your life is that leads to them being less supportive and less loving. Understand pretty girl problems when you're dealing with a beautiful woman, and don't objectify us and don't get so excited, but understand we've gone through all of those things and a lot more, which I can make a whole upload about that in itself. But I would say that's the biggest solution. Get acquainted with the problems that really beautiful women go through being objectified constantly, and get yourself ready as a man to deal with that lifestyle if you're not used to being put on display. And if you're average man, you should probably find an average woman. But again, if you're just a good guy and you're amazed at how drop dead gorgeous and sexy this woman is, but she's also a real woman, and meaning she's got womanhood, and she's all natural and aboriginal, and she's mature and sophisticated. Here, those are some things that you can understand to help you get ready to impress a real woman, instead of just getting scared and messing up your opportunity. So I hope this helps. Listen, learn, like, subscribe. Peace and love, and I will see you all in the next upload. Check out my Etsy shop, and if you like what you heard, go ahead and hit me up on Cash App.